All right, folks, we actually got a game going here. So many people escape once they see I'm like 21 and 1. So my channel name is, what the heck is that? My channel name is actually called Joseki Masters, but the funny thing is I actually don't know that many Josekis. Um, I don't really I actually don't really study Josekis that much. I mean, I used to know more Josekis, but I just don't know nearly as many now because I've been away from the game for so long. That's why I don't know as many Josekis now. I used to know quite a few more. Do I even want to answer that one? Yeah, I'll go ahead and do it. I probably should have just connected actually. Interesting he chooses to do that. I was hoping that he would. I'm just going to ignore that. Let's do this. There's not too much territory here, and I'm not really afraid of his attacks. I'm going to just take the corner. It's going to solidify my territory and see how well he attacks my two stones. That's probably the move. Nope, you shouldn't make that move. We should have definitely made that move to actually threaten my two stones more. I'm okay with this because this group isn't quite alive yet either. It's definitely better off than my group, but it's not exactly like really well off right now. Go ahead and do this. If that were me, I would probably not have blocked at all. I would have just like ignored that. I would have just completely ignored that. But, you know, you do you. You freaking do you. See if he extends. Or does he Hane? That was probably a bad move, actually. He extends. This move is still very problematic for him in the future. Now he's almost sacrificing like this group here. Well, he's not really sacrificing. But I will actually take a Sente and threaten this group at the same time with imminent destruction. That's a Sente move for me, so I'm going to go ahead and do this to threaten this group. And remember, there's still a move here that I can actually do. Fun fact, guys, when someone pushes, you don't have to always block. That is actually a really bad mistake that I see a lot of Caillou players make. That when someone pushes, they automatically have to block, and that is generally a very bad mistake people make. I actually don't have to answer that, believe it or not. I'm just gonna use this. Remember, this group isn't alive either. So if I can kill one of these groups, that would be awesome. I actually don't really care about that move, so I'm going to go ahead and just... First of all, I'm going to fix this thing by doing this. And then I'm going to go down here now that that's connected. There's ways for him to get out by just like kind of curling here. I probably should have done this actually, but I wanted to extend downward. I don't think that's a good move. Actually going to just do this up because I want to leave the corner invasion. Definitely want to leave the corner invasion. I'll let him actually have that. I'm just going to connect. It makes a lot of stuff like stronger for me. I'm not actually trying to kill this group, by the way. You can't... Well, I guess I can kind of kill it. So that's a Sinte here. At least I can have a Ko here, I would guess. I think this is just dead now, because he made a wrong move. That's a wrong move. See, like, I'm just better at attacking several groups simultaneously than he is. And in this case, what you should do is just curl. Because the more he extends, you don't really have to block. The more he extends, the more he hurts his corner. Oh, he can live. Never mind. No, he can actually. Never mind. I'm getting confused. He cannot live this. Just make sure I have enough liberties to fend this off. Indeed, I do.
Yoyomi now starts.
Like, I just make sure I don't actually screw up here. Oh, it's actually co-live. I actually believe it's co-live. Dang it. I actually do believe it's co-live right now because I... No, it's not. It's not. Never mind. It's not co-live. I think it's dead. And the corner invasion is still there, believe it or not. That corner is still not completely clean. But since I killed this group, the game's essentially over. Just bad fighting. Now he's trying to kill that group, but I don't really care about that group. I'm just going to extend down to make sure this is all connected. Where did he go? Okay, that's good. Just going to make sure that this group is alive, because I know that his internal group is dead. Doesn't have two eyes. Make sure he can't really do anything funny here, so I'm just going to do this. He might be able to kill that bottom group. Just too bad.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
I think he's going to kill the bottom group. I just have to let it go. That was probably a bad move too. Yeah, he's probably going to be able to kill the bottom group. But that's fine, because I got this entire group. I don't actually care about that, because I can just win anyways. So I'll let him have a couple points there. It's basically just cutting your losses at this point, because this entire group's essentially dead. That's not a collab, by the ways. Because if all these liberties are actually filled in, I can actually cut here, and then he's screwed. So he would actually have to connect that, and then that's just dead. Just make sure that that ports back. So should be an easy win for me again. He's got some points here and some points on the corner, but his giant group is dead, so it shouldn't really matter. It's closer than I will admit, it is closer than I thought, though. It is much, much closer than I thought. Mainly because I screwed up over here. Invade and... the heck? Invade and kill his territory? I don't know what the purpose of that move is. But sure, why the hell not? Just gonna connect so I don't screw up. And just curl back so I don't screw up. Is that really worth it? No, it's not. I'm going to see how this works. Extend. I don't think this is worth it for me. Oh, he just made it worth it. Awesome. He could have probably just taken this. All I would have gotten is these two. That's just I think that's a miscalculation by him. So he just gave me the corner. I guess he can try to do Ko, but it's really dangerous. Shouldn't have... whatever. Doesn't matter. At least he gives me the corner. Whatever. Doesn't matter at this point. I don't have to answer that, but just in case. It's not actually a very good game for teaching, except for the fact that, like, I guess I can kind of like see my thought process through like all these moves. At this point, he's essentially lost because his giant group is pretty much dead. So I'm just answering whatever. I don't really know what to go. I guess this will work. I don't know if he knows this giant group is dead or not, but it definitely is. That's fine. Because this point is actually cut here, this giant group is dead. I can just extend this way. I still have two, but I'm just going to connect this just to make sure. I can just block, but it doesn't really matter. If this was a close game, I would have definitely blocked. I'm just going to end the game. This is just my philosophy of making sure 100% that you win when you're actually in a winning position, to make sure you have no chance of actually screwing it up. That's the philosophy of this. No? What is he doing? I mean, I'll just kind of answer like this, I guess, because he can't do anything if I do that. Just to make sure. I mean, there's nothing there. It doesn't really matter. He can't cut. He can't really do anything. Just playing. I don't even need to answer these, but I'm just playing to show him. Seriously? Come on now. Do you expect me to do this? No, I'm just going to do this. Either way, it doesn't actually matter. I said either way, it doesn't actually matter. I don't even need to answer that, but I will. Don't think there's anything left. Just gonna pass. Last couple of moves, the closing sequence is, come on. You know there's nothing here. What exactly are you going to do? I don't even need to do that, but you're just giving me, like, if this actually was a close game, I would just ignore I would honestly just ignore all his moves, and he would just be giving me points. And he would actually lose the game that way. Don't do this. Don't do stuff like this. You know it's a losing cause. Because, like, see, he does that, but they're just adding, like, points into my territory. Every stone you throw in there that I don't answer, you lose 1 point. Don't do that. Especially if it's a close game. I mean, it's dead anyway, so who cares? Dude, I'm just gonna, like, take these stones. I don't know what you're doing. You do know that's dead, right? You do actually know that's... I hope he knows that's dead, because that's definitely dead. It's 100% dead. What is he doing? Stop stalling. I hate players when they try to stall like this. I'm not going to mess up in, like, that small of a space. Come on now. I really don't like players when they really try to stall. I don't even have to answer, but I am just going to show him that he's dead. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and show him. If he had any hope in this, I'm going to show him that he's actually dead, if he didn't know. Because he might think this is actually Kolib, so I'm just going to show him he's dead. Just to make sure, he might have not known that that piece was actually dead. Which is why he hasn't resigned.
9, 8, 7.
Does he really expect me to mess up? Come on, man. Finally. All right. That was actually an interesting game. Let's actually go back and take a look. The ending sequence is irrelevant. The ending sequence is completely irrelevant. The game there is essentially over once I kill that piece. It doesn't matter that I lost this. I just screwed up there. I could have easily prevented him from taking that. But I just cut my losses and made sure I won at that point because it didn't really matter. Like when he did this, I should have just extended. I should have honestly just extended, and that would have fixed my problem right there. There's really very little way he can break that. Or kill me, even if he did. So yeah, like when he did this, just like extend this and I would have been fine. But I guess I just didn't really care because I was ahead by so much at that point. So like here, I think like there was a variety of plays he could have actually done here that were better than what he actually did. It basically like extending backward means like certain death. But if he actually did this, it would actually be much more interesting because I might actually try to take the ko here and then it'd be like a ko for this piece, which would be much better for him than what actually happened. So like he actually chose the worst out of all the moves. And this is not Sente. This is actually not Sente because I would just ignore this. If you curl here, I would just keep curling and destroy your corner. And this piece basically got in trouble because I had so many Sente moves here. He should have actually just ignored me when I did that because I don't think I could kill this piece regardless. At least it would have been a ko. So he should have ignored me when I did something like this and made sure this was alive. So like when I did this, I mean, he has to curl out or I might kill this piece. Then I, of course, protected this cut here. And then, of course, I flew down. Now, this is actually like not a very good move because you could just kind of like curl out right here. That's the move he should have done. I would have had to extend, and he could have like pressured this stone. And then the most I could have done is actually like basically like try to live down here. So curling here, like this move, him not doing this move and doing this move might have actually cost the game. This is another one of those moves that might actually look good because you're doing the tiger's mouth, but all that really does is make me like 100% stronger without gaining you too much. Of course, like the follow-up moves, that makes me a little stronger. And then he didn't cut. So I connected. So that just makes me very thick. Even like I didn't actually plan on killing him at this point. He could have just done this and I would have given up on killing him. But like that makes me very strong on the outside and strong enough to really attack this corner. So he basically just sacrificed that corner right there. Of course, like this is like I said, he might have been better off not answering this or just answer this at this. And when I connect, hurry up and like live this piece because I don't know if I could actually kill this corner. I might be able to if I do something like, see like that liberty is not taken, so I'm not sure if I could kill this corner. I don't know the life and death situation here, and I don't know if I would have enough time to actually calculate this. I would actually go ahead and take it, but there's a good chance that I wouldn't be able to kill it. And plus, like, this piece isn't completely out of the blue because there's a bunch of cuts here and there that he could actually make. So I would probably just go ahead and live this piece. Then he does this. I extended, essentially because that gives me more leeway to attack this corner, essentially. Then he does that. And then I destroy this eye first. He could have given this up as well, but he obviously didn't. So that's a Sente right there and destroying that eye. And now he's in trouble. I think he's at most got a Ko here. Of course, that just makes him dead. So that ends the game right there. Because like it doesn't matter if he kills this afterwards. That basically just ends the game right there. Okay, so like another thing is like when he was pushing right here, he might have actually expected me to block because a lot of like single digit or like low single digit Q players or mid single digit Q players, if they push, they expect you to block. But you know, that's one of the things in Go. If they push, you don't have to block. You can just retreat. And then to push again, you can just retreat again. And by the time he pushes the third time, it doesn't really matter anymore. And playing this out, honestly, isn't great either. The reason is because
someone invites you to play.
Because him playing this out doesn't actually gain him anything. But what like people would say is like you playing this out basically robs you of opportunities in the future. There's a lot of like variations that can occur in different situations of the game, and you playing that out just takes away all those future variations. So that's the problem with playing that out. At least that's my opinion. That's not a bad move. Honestly, what I should have done is I should have like reeled back. He would have connected and then I could have just jumped home and I wouldn't have this problem later on. So that was a mistake by me. At this point, he could have just taken the bottom couple of stones, which is probably what I would have. Well, no, actually he can't because I would just, if he does this, I would have just like connected. Then he'd be kind of like in a conundrum, a little bit in a conundrum. I think it would be a little harder here, but I think he still could have just done this. And then I would be like in a real pickle here. He could have just done that, yeah. I mean, I think if he actually Atari'd here, I would have connected. Then when he did this, I would have actually done this and try to Hane out this way and fight in here. But this fight would definitely favor him, and I don't see too much of a way I could win because disconnecting him would definitely be a Gote, and then he would just play this right here, and the fight would pretty much be over. So he could have easily cut these couple stones off because I made a mistake playing here. That's critically important. And after that, you guys know what happened. So like this phase of escape was not brilliant by me. When he did this, I should have probably just done this, or like just even connected. That might have been better, or like done like this was not too bad at the time, but it actually does set him up for like this kind of connection later. I should have protected that more because that could have been pretty disastrous. Because if he had actually played the disconnect right here, like if he actually had played well and disconnected right here, I would have been way behind. I don't think playing this move here right now was a good idea. I would have just jumped, and that would have actually sort of forced me to jump as well. And you have like a Sente there, and you could actually attack this, because this is a very, very weak looking group. You could attack this afterwards. So invading here, I don't think is a good idea. Invading here is not like a good idea, because that gives you an extra group to actually protect. That's actually very weak. So I just went ahead and covered. I could have just curled up and then done something like jumped up or something, but I actually covered, and he did this. And then like my strategy, like now that this territory is kind of broken, my strategy is to threaten these 2 coins and destroy his bottom potential for territory, or maybe convert it to some of mine. That's my thought process, because I already have this corner. Curl up. I just go ahead and curl down. My thing is, if he takes the if he takes the thickness and does this, I'm just going to kill these 2 stones and grab the territory. Obviously, he's not willing to sacrifice that. So I do this. Extend here. Extend here. Extend. I have to extend. Now, cutting here would actually put me in a very, very tough position. And if I was playing, that's exactly what I would have done. Because cutting here, I could go out this way and maybe grab those stones, but I would be sacrificing this entire bottom side, and that would actually lose me the game. So if he cut here, I'm not exactly sure what I would have done, because this group here is really, really weak. And Atari out this way might be my only option, because if I Atari out this way, I'm not going to get very far. So if he cut here, I would actually be in a very, very bad position, because I would have several weak groups. And like, I actually don't think there is actually a good I don't think there's actually a good solution if he actually cuts here. I think the best outcome for me is like I would grab these 2 stones, but he would actually get this side, which is obviously better for white. So this is actually a really bad position for me. At this point, I probably should have like made the tiger's mouth. Like at this point, honestly, I probably should have just made the tiger's mouth at this point and then try to stir up something in the corner later. But fortunately for me, he missed that play. He does this. I actually get a Sente here. At this point, it's a Sente. Before like this stuff happened, at this point, I do think it's actually a Sente. So that actually allows me to do that. That's very, very critical. If I had a Gote there and he plays here, I'm completely screwed. Actually, if he doesn't do anything, like I said, if he doesn't do anything and he just plays here, I am really, really screwed. So I'm glad he didn't actually see this cut. That's just a lack of fighting strength at the 3 Caillou rank. So that's a huge mistake where he didn't capitalize on my mistake. I would have disconnected and he would have been screwed. This, obviously, like I said, don't play this out if you know how it's going to go. And this is a mistake by me, because now you have this disconnection, because you got like a thickness here. Instead of curling out, I mean, I could have done this, I could have curled out first and then like done something like this to make sure that I actually had the connection, but I unfortunately didn't do that. So like, obviously I curled here immediately. I should have actually done this, because I'm pretty sure he would have responded, and that would have made things a lot easier. And of course, you know how the rest of this went. So I did not play a very good game this time, but because he missed a lot of moves, I ended up winning, and he screwed up several times. So like, there was a lot of missed opportunities for him to actually win. But that's really the difference between like, someone who's playing mid Don level and someone who's actually playing 3 Caillou level on Fox. Because when I did this, I knew this was a big weakness. I didn't really calculate it, but I knew if he cut there, I'd be in a lot of trouble, especially after he extended the top, but he didn't see that. So he lost the priority there, because I got a bunch of Sentes. He was able to cut this, but after capturing this group, the game was pretty much over. So hope you learned something from that game. Like and subscribe, hit that bell notifications button, and I will see you guys in the next game.